Okay, welcome back. This is the 10th lesson of grade 9, that is about direct proportions. Now this lesson, what students think is that they think it is very hard and they think that it is very hard to score. But I'll say you, the reason is that students don't understand the theory behind this. There is nothing hard here. The only thing is you just have to understand few words, and then thereby it is one of the easiest lesson in grade 9 and it is easy to get all marks in this lesson. Okay, so let us just move on. Now you should understand what is this direct proportion means. Okay, now you will be studying about direct proportion. Later on when you go to higher grades, you have what? Indirect proportions. That is in grade 10. Now this is easier, very easy. Okay, so let us check what is this. Now direct proportion means something to do with increasing or decreasing. Okay, let us see what is that. Now say you buy say you buy 2 kilograms of sugar. Say you buy 2 kilograms of sugar. Okay, say the amount is equal to 100 rupees. Okay, 2 kilograms of sugar is equal to 100 rupees. Now say you buy let us say 6 kilograms of sugar. So how much will it cost? Using our normal calculations, you can say that it will be costing 300. Okay, is that clear? That part was clear, I hope. Okay, so now what you can do is, now let us check what is the ratio between the amount of these two things. Okay, now if you take the weight, what is the ratio between them? Let us see. 2 is to 6. If you simplify, it is equal to 1 is to 3. Now shall we check the ratio between the prices? You took 2 is to 6 now. So let us take the price first. That is 100 is to 300. If you simplify, what will happen? Yes, it is equal to 1 is to 3. Was that clear? Now see, the ratio both are what? Yes, it is equal. Okay, you can consider it is both 1 is to 3 and 1 is to 3. Okay, I hope that was clear. Okay, now since the ratios of both are equal, you say these types of questions as proportions. If the ratios of two quantities are equal, you call it proportions. Okay, now there is something to do with direct proportion. Direct means something that is involved directly, na? Okay, you have something to do with this also. Okay, now you will understand the meaning of direct proportion when I do the next example. Okay, that is, let us say, we'll move on to a new example. We'll say we'll consider something that has okay, now in order to explain you all about direct proportion, I'll straight away go to examples. That will be easier, okay? Rather than giving you all examples, the real life examples, it will make you all complex. Straight away, I'll go to a question, okay? So, before going to a question, I'll say you what is direct proportion. Now, you know proportion. When the ratio of two quantities are equal, okay? That you already saw it here, okay? When the two ratios of two quantities are equal, you call it proportion. Direct proportion means, okay, when one quantity, maybe anything, when one quantity increases, the other also will increase, okay, in the same proportion. In the same proportion means in the same ratio. Now you will not understand the meaning of the proportion. Now when one increases, you have two definitions. When one increases, the other also will be increasing, but in the same ratio. Okay, I call it same ratio. Okay, ratio. Also you have, I told you, yes, you have one more description. That is, when one quantity decreases, the other also will decrease in the same ratio. Now the thing you will understand is that when one increases, the other also increases, or when one decreases, the other also decreases. Now you will not understand by the words what is the same ratio. Okay, for that I'll come to an example. Say they have given you a ratio like this: 2 is to 3 is equal to, now you are studying about proportion, no? Then two ratios should be equal. Okay, now see, here I write a blank. You should find this using what? Using direct proportion. Now see, I write 12 here. Now listen to this very carefully. Now this is direct proportion. Direct proportion means when one increases, the other also should increase. That means when one increases, the other can't reduce, other can't decrease. Understand? When one decreases, other should is the same. Understand? Okay. Now you have to observe like this. Now these two ratios are same, no? Because the equal mark is given. Now you have 2 here, you have 3 here, you have to find this value, you have 12 here. Now observe, 3 has become how much? 12, no? It has become 12. Okay, now here where the ratio comes into play. Now how has this 3 become 12? Yes, 3 has become 12 by multiplying by how much? By 4. Now the same ratio means this 2 also, now this has increased, therefore this 2 also should increase. Understand? Increase means when one quantity increases, the other also should increase. So this increases means this also increases. This is in the same ratio, in the sense this is multiplied by 4, therefore this also should be multiplied by the same number. That is what you call the same ratio. Understand? Ratio, same ratio. So you multiply this also by the same number. That is going to give you how much? Yes, 8. Simple ones. Understand? So when one increases, the other increases. Shall we solve one more example? Okay, one more example. I'll take 2 is to 5 is equal to, let me call a blank, is equal to 20. Now look here. 1 is given, one quantity is given, that 5 has become 20. So when one increases, the other increases. So this has increased, therefore this also should increase. Okay. Now by what ratio? 5 is multiplied by 4. So here also you multiply by 4. So what is the answer here? 2 into 4 is equal to 20. Was that part clear? It is very clear, I hope. Okay. So one more example. That is, we'll go to when a quantity decreases, what will happen? The other also should increase in the same ratio. Let us call 10 is to 50 is equal to 2 is to blank. You have to find this blank. Now observe, now these two ratios are same. No? 10 has become 2. Is it increased or decreased? It has decreased. Now you have to find the ratio. 10 has become 2 by how? How has 10 become 2? Yes, it is divided by 5, right? Okay, it is divided by 5, therefore you get 2. Now this side also, yes, 50 you have to divide by 5 to get the answer. So 50 divided by 5 will give you 10. Was that easy? It's very easy, right? So this how the questions goes on. Okay, now using this you have problems to be solved. You can solve it in two methods. Okay, one is in the unitary method or using proportion. Now unitary method means it is like finding the value for one and then finding the answer for all. Okay, unit means just one. Unitary method or the proportion method we studied now. Well, let us just solve two examples and check. Okay, the first example I give you is that, let's say a car travels 72 kilometers per hour. That means for 1 hour it travels 72 kilometers. You have to find the distance traveled in 10 minutes. Now this becomes a bit complex. Is it complex? No. First I'll solve it using unitary method. That is, what did I say? Unitary method means you find the value for 1 and then find the value for 10. That means 72 kilometers per hour. Okay, this is the way. Now using this information, the car travels 72 kilometers in 1 hour. That means in 1 hour the car can travel 72 kilometers. Okay, 1 hour means how many minutes? Since they are dealing with minutes, I'll change this 1 hour to minutes. Yes, 60 minutes. So in 60 minutes the car travels 72 kilometers. Okay, now before finding out the value for 10 minutes, what I'm going to do is, since this is unitary method, I'm going to find the value the car travels in 1 minute. So how do you find? How to make this 60 to 1? Divide by 60, na? Divide this side also by 60, divide this side also by 60. So here you have 1 minute. This side what do you have? If you simplify, you will be getting, yes, shall I write the same answer or shall I simplify? Okay, I'll do a bit of simplification. Okay, I'll just write the same. So once you solve this, this is the answer you will be getting. Okay, now observe, this is unitary method. You have found the value for 1 minute, for 1. Now what should you do? You have to find the distance traveled in 10 minutes. So how do you turn 1 to 10? Yes, you have to multiply by 10. So you have to multiply both sides by how much? 10. So this side also you multiply by how much? By 10. That is equal to kilometer. So how do you simplify? Yes, if I had simplified here, I would have wasted time here and then again here. So since I did not simplify here, see, it is easy for me to cut the zeros. So how much is it? 72 divided by 6 is going to give you how much? 12, right? Yes. Therefore, in 10 minutes, the car travels 12 kilometers. Was that clear? Okay. This is the normal method you had followed all these days. Unitary. Finding the value for 1 and then finding the value for the required amount. Okay. Now let us move on to the next portion, that is about proportions. Okay. Now let us make two charts like this. Here time, here distance. One information is given that so the car travels 72 kilometers in how many hours? 1 hour. Okay. Therefore you can say 1 hour means 60 minutes. In 60 minutes the car travels 72 kilometers. Okay. Now what are they asking to find? Yes, the distance traveled by the car in 10 minutes. Therefore here you have 10 minutes. Distance, do you know? No. So I'll call it x. Okay. Observe this carefully. This side you have time, this side you have distance. Okay. Now I am going to write it in ratio format. Okay. Proportions. Proportions means ratios. No? Ratios are same, I told you. Therefore the ratio of this and ratio of this both should be what? Equal. Understand? Both should be equal because we are dealing with proportions. So here you have 60, that I'll write it like this. 60 is to how much? 10 should be equal to the other ratio. What is it? Since you wrote 60 first, let us write 72 first. 72 is to how much? X. Now people might be thinking, how do you solve? Now if you can do up to this step, the other simplification is just nothing. Observe. Ratios can be written in fraction form, that is 60 over 10. You can write it this way. Also this side, on the right hand side, you have 72 over x. Now what should you do? Yes, you can do cross multiplication. Bring x here. Then 60x, 60 multiplied by x will give you 60x is equal to 72 multiplied by 10. So rather than doing that, I'll just first cut off these zeros. So I have 6x is equal to 72. Therefore x is equal to, what should you do? Divide both sides by 6. So see, you are getting the same answer, no? So is our method correct? Yes, absolutely. Okay. So shall we check one more? Okay, one more question. That is, let us check. I'll do it in the proportion method. Okay. Let's say a motor vehicle. It travels 60 kilometers. 60 kilometers in 4 liters. Okay. Now when you pump 4 liters of petrol, the motor vehicle travels 60 kilometers. Now you have to find the distance it traveled. It travels in with we'll say 10 liters. Okay. Okay. Now what are the ways of doing? Already I have taught you can do it in 2 methods, right? Okay. In case I'll do the other method also, unitary method. Okay. How do you solve? You have, yes, in for 60 kilometers, Yeah, using 4 liters of petrol, it travels 60 kilometers. That means using 4 liters, it travels how much? 60 kilometers. Am I correct? Yes. Okay. Next, what should I do? Yes, you have to find unitary method. You have to find the value for 1. That means for 1 liter, how much? Then you have to divide both sides by 4 in order to get 1. So here you have 1 liter. There you get. So 60 divided by 4 is equal how much? Yes, 10 and 5, 15. So you get 15 kilometers. In 1 liter, the car travels 15 kilometers. Now, how do you find the value for 10 liters? Yes, since you have found the value for unit price for one amount, so you just have to multiply both sides by 10. So 15 kilometer multiplied by 10 is going to give you how much? 150 kilometers. Was that part clear? Okay. Shall we move on to the other way of solving, that is using proportions? Okay. Now what are the two things they are speaking about? One is about liters, amount, quantity and the distance. Okay. What was the first thing said? 4 liters. How much does it travel? The car travels 60 kilometers. Okay. Okay, done. Next is, with 10 liters of petrol, how much does it travel? Do you know the distance? No, you can call it x or y, whatever you want. Now you have to write, what did I say? Yes, this fraction, this ratio and this ratio both should be equal. That means 4:10 should be equal to the other ratio, that is equal to 60:x. Right, just write. Now since you wrote 4 here, write 60 first. Okay, now how do you solve this? Since this is in ratio, you change it into fraction, 60/x. Now how do you solve? Yes, make x the subject. Therefore you have 4x is equal to 600. So how do you make x the subject? Divide both sides by 4. That is going to give you x is equal to 150 kilometers. So was this part clear? Okay, the next part, the other part of this question, you have currency, like foreign currency to be converted. That is nothing like proportions, that is like normal calculations to be done. Like they will say you $1 is equal to 175 rupees. So how much is $20 equal to? Is it hard or easier? Just multiplication, no? Price of $1 is 175. So in order to find the value of $20, you have to multiply this value by 20. Easy, right? And sometimes they will save you questions like division. That is like one. We'll say $1 is equal to say 200. Okay, 200 rupees. Okay, a person from abroad, he's sending, altogether he's sending, let's say around not dollars, he's sending to the bank account, he's sending around 40,000 rupees. So how do you find the number of dollars he sent from the original country? Yes, here what happens? You have a bit of division here, no? You have to divide 40,000 by 20. That will give you the number of dollars. So how much? Yes, you will be getting 200. So altogether $200 from the original country is sending $200. Was that clear? You have so many questions to be solved in the book. Just take all the examples and solve. This is easier. You have just calculations and you will have past paper questions. I'll get you all the past paper questions. Solve some model paper questions also. And thanks for watching. Subscribe our channel. Thank you.